Welcome, guys. Today we have very interesting topic. We decided to talk about traditional versus non-traditional ways, how you seek healthy relationships, healthy body, a healthy health in general. So we're gonna dive there, and Annabelle definitely gonna share a little bit about traditional ways, how we're trying to heal our mental health and emotional self, and I'm gonna talk more about physical health and also going to add some emotional and mental patterns. So, yeah, Annabelle, I think we can go ahead and start. And can you share what do you think is traditional way when people experiencing some kind of relationship difficulties?
Yeah, I think when we talk about traditional healing, we're going to look at like the standard ways of managing depression, managing anxiety, really healing that relationship. And one of the biggest things that my clients end up experiencing is therapy. And therapy comes in different shapes and sizes, but the traditional way of therapy has always been talk therapy. And it's basically the idea that you meet with a therapist and you're just processing through speaking and obviously through cognitive speaking, meaning that you're really trying to understand and reflect about the challenges that you're going through, and you're doing it in a way that is allowing you to build on one thought over another. Amazing, right? There's nothing, and when we talk about traditional versus non-traditional, we're not saying that one is better than the other, but we are saying that there are certain methods that end up working better for certain like problematic areas in your life. Whether
there's no judgment.
There's no judgment, right? We're not trying to minimize any of these methods as we talk about this, but we do want to talk about what we've experienced and what we've studied and the results that we've noticed when it comes to our clients. And so when we're looking at therapy and we're specifically talk therapy, it's something that there was an increase of people seeking therapy after COVID. And reason being is that there was a lot of isolation, a lot of people were losing their jobs, feeling lost internally. They were literally going through existential crisis, and having someone to talk through what their experience was amazing. But what I noticed is that clients who were coming to seek out relationship advice, or they were having struggles with their partner and were wanting to do just talk therapy, what I started to notice was clients were coming to me. We were gaining clarity, awareness about why they were having these really big responses with their partner, their mom, their husband. And it was great, right? They would leave the office feeling excited, feeling motivated, and ready to really engage with their significant other in a different way. But what was happening is that the minute that they got triggered, it didn't matter how much awareness we build, how much clarity was within that session. In that moment, they reacted the same way that they had reacted all of the other times. And so it really got me to think, like, something is missing here. Like, what is missing? And this is where I started to explore other avenues of healing and other forms of therapy.
If you don't mind me just to before going to other ways, have you ever tried talk therapy by yourself?
Yes.
How was it for you?
So when I was how old was I? Oh man. 20
like, oh man, how old
24, 25, because therapy wasn't a thing back in the day. With social media really blew it up, and then COVID hit, and then it really blew up. But when I was 24, that's when I started therapy, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And this was traditional therapy. This was just talk therapy. And it was really powerful because I had never shared my story with someone else. I had never been witnessed.
I think the thing is about talk therapy, it matters what you need to feel to be able to change. So if you are that kind of person who's not able to share, who doesn't have a ways to share, who doesn't have no one to share with their story, then talk therapy could be that go-to thing for you.
Yes.
But the thing is, we have to understand another thing. There's a different type of therapist, because for some people, they're like, oh, I'm not going to talk about my childhood trauma because it doesn't matter. For some people, they want to talk about what's happening here and now. Other part of people, they want to understand what happened, why do I feel this way. So there's like gestalt therapy, there is throat therapy. We have different types of therapy, talk therapy. But for me, I try talk therapy. I think that first thing that it brings you is awareness. And that's basically a first step in gestalt therapy, for
Yes.
example. First step to understand, like, okay, what's going on? So awareness is a huge thing. But for me, the question is always, if I have to see the therapist over and over and over again, and I know that life is a journey, healing is a journey, but if nothing is not changing, it means something is not working.
Yes.
I need something else probably, because as you said, you can feel great at that therapy room. Like, now I'm motivated. Now I'm gonna approach differently in my relationships, my career, in my life in general. But once the life happens, once you get back to the same environment, same circumstances that you live in, your body has the first response. And the response is the same that you used to do over and over and over again.
And that's how people feel when they're in therapy for years, is they feel stagnant. They feel like they're not making progress. They feel like nothing is changing. They feel like something is missing.
Yeah. And
because their life still looks the same.
That something probably is the way that you're gonna talk about that embodiment with a physical body, which actually bring you response, like the first response. So yeah, go ahead and share about non-traditional ways.
Yeah, so the non-traditional ways that I really stand behind are EMDR and somatic therapy, and both of them are body-based, trauma-focused therapy modalities.
I'm so sorry. I just have so many questions about that. Why did you decide that trauma focused tools are the best way to approach it?
So when I was doing traditional therapy, there were a lot of challenges coming up in my relationship, and I realized that it didn't that this is where I came to it. Like, it didn't matter how I could literally be blue in the face. I was telling my therapist the same story over and over and over again, and I would still react in the same way with my partner. And I was like, this isn't working. And thankfully, I was introduced to EMDR, and I actually did EMDR myself. I went through the EMDR protocol, and my childhood trauma, I mean, it was instantly healed. I mean, yes, I still had to do more work after that, but after those first couple sessions, I was like, oh my God, like, this is what it means to have a sense of relief. This is what it means to not be able to go from 0 to 100, just in this immediate sense. And so, yeah,
we have to emphasize that if you find the approach which works for you, this is quick process. This is, as you said, few sessions, maybe one session. If you find the way that actually works for you, what your body needs to, it doesn't have to be 20, 10 years, 5 years, a year. It can be few sessions. We have to emphasize that. And there's a lot of data, there's a lot of research, but people get to, oh, no, it's a lifetime journey. Probably I'm going to feel this way all the time. Okay, I'm going to try the talk therapy or something, but it's going to take me years, decades.
Is that what you hear from your clients?
I hear that a lot.
Okay. And when they present that state to you, what do you tell them?
As I told you right now, if you find what works for you, it can take one session. It can take 2 sessions. It doesn't have to be a decade-long journey. For me, more people coming with chronic symptoms, any kind of mental, emotional chronic symptom, or physical pains, or diseases that they have for a long period of time, and they usually in the mode where, like, okay, I guess I'm gonna live this way. This is what we definitely, once we're done with your part, we definitely can go into Western, Eastern medicine and how these approaches are different and how to choose the one that works for you. But we can get back a little bit about talk therapy and non-traditional ways, because I think that I heard that from you, but I would love you to explain more what is EMDR and what is somatic tools.
Yeah, so EMDR, there's actually a protocol, and this is, I think, what makes it more powerful, is that you're not just using what works and kind of pick as the therapist, you're kind of just picking and choosing. No, there is a step-by-step process of we are going to start here. And so the first phase of it is developing your resources. And it's really going to build up those body-based techniques for you to regulate your emotion. A lot of people, as we've talked about in previous episodes, they're not connected to their body. And so the first phase of treatment is connecting to your body. The second phase, and which is probably the most powerful, is actually doing the EMDR. So EMDR stands for eye movement processing, desensitizing. Oh my God, sorry. The acronym is so confusing. Eye movement, desensitizing, reprocessing system. And so basically what that means is that if you have this information when you're in REM sleep, meaning that when you're in a really deep sleep, you actually experience a lot of dreams. And most of us will not feel it or won't ever know it, but your eyes actually flicker back and forth. And this helps your body regulate while you're sleeping. This is why if you're having a dream that you're getting chased by robbers and bears, you don't wake up out of your sleep, right? Like your body's actually regulated while you're having these really intense dreams. So it's your body's natural way of regulating. And so in EMDR, we use that process where we're actually activating the left and the right hemisphere of the brain to regulate as you're processing your trauma. So that's the second phase. And then the third phase is really understanding how your body is now reacting towards that after that process. And what you'll see, and this is the really powerful part, is that your body has such a different response when you retell your story.
Just show the better way, just show the easier way, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Yes. So it's really amazing. And
what about somatic tools?
So the somatic tools are really built into the EMDR process, but it's using anything that is allowing your body to regulate. This might mean the traditional like music. There's actually ASMR beats, and basically it's frequency that activates the left and right hemisphere of the brain so that you are regulating. There's obviously the visualization, the meditation, there's tapping. So there's different tools that I give clients, because here's the thing is that clients are only with me for 60 minutes every week. What do they do for the rest of the, however many hours there is in a week? And so by giving them these tools, they're able to regulate on that.
Absolutely. I think that's the part that talk therapy is missing too, because what matters, what you're going to do the rest 23 hours in your day. You can feel great. You can feel motivated in that 1 hour per week, not only per day, but what matters, what kind of tools do you have to deal with everything that you are exposed to?
Yes. And I want to hear you talk about the tools that you use, because I think this is what is really cool about having and understanding different non-traditional methods, is that there are other methods that work out there, right? And for you, you've discovered that through your own method. So share with us what that is.
I think we have to start from the start, that can be a long speech.
I know.
So I came from very traditional Western medicine approach. This is what I was taught. This is what's happening. This is diagnosis. This is how it's going to be treated. This is what we're going to do about it. So this is Western medicine approach, right? And I just want to emphasize that any kind of approach, traditional, non-traditional, has its own place for different people from different circumstances. And I still a lover of Western medicine, but right now I think that it's more for acute conditions. It's more for emergency, for acute conditions. But unfortunately, in Western medicine, we do not have tools and approaches to deal with chronic symptoms. What we can do with someone who experiences symptom every single day, what we can do with someone whose lab work are perfect, but he still doesn't feel okay. That's the huge gap. And I think that fortunately, we going to feel it sooner or later, because more and more people getting more wider perspective on all of that. So, and there's also that alternative or non-traditional medicine that I don't like that name. It already puts the label, oh, it's alternative. Like if this one doesn't work, go there, that's your alternative option. So I don't like that idea. Well, I don't even like that non-traditional, because who made the traditions, and there's also what is traditional for you might be not traditional for me. For some people, acupuncture or Eastern medicine can be the traditional way, and Western medicine is not traditional.
So what would you rename it?
I was thinking about it actually. I didn't come up with one idea, but I think the one that I kind of like the most from what we have, it could be complementary. I love complementary medicine. Also, I don't think that we have to even label it. There's a medicine, there's a tools, there's approaches that can help you. And then it's your decision what you're gonna choose. So, as I said, everything has its own place. We have conditions where we necessarily need Western medicine. We kind of right now the life expectancy is crazy high. We never had it before when we didn't have Western medicine. So we need it. That's necessary. We have a longer life duration. We have management from some diseases. We have a lot of things. Thank you. It's amazing. Also, what we have from Eastern medicine, like acupuncture, that's probably the one that it's most accepted nowadays. Everyone goes to acupuncture. Everyone wants to try it. And that's a great way too. I'm not a practitioner of acupuncture. Never done that, but I know a lot about Eastern medicine. Again, I think that I told that on our first episode. I think that when you choosing the practitioner, you made the decision what you're gonna get. You shouldn't be mad if Western medicine traditional doctor offer you a pill, or because you probably saw a lot of reels right now when you're waiting for 6 months for your appointments to your doctor, and he's gonna tell you like, oh, you sad, don't be sad. Oh, you don't sleep good, so sleep well. So there's a lot of stigma going around it, but there is no one to blame, because also there's one thing that I want to mention. Even in the Western medicine, there's a thing that we know that, we're producing cancer cells every day. We know that we have immune system and everything which fights with the exposure with the fungi, virus, bacteria. We know that the body has self-healing mechanisms. Even in the Western medicine, but no one gets into that. Everyone in the Western medicine is like, oh, okay, cool. So it's not my job. Like, body do that part. I'm gonna fix everything that's going on. What I don't like about that, I don't think that it's a good way to treat only one organ. I think it's very, very necessary to find a specialist, which, for example, focus on your, let's say gastroenterologist, right? We're talking about the gut health. Yeah, our body is so difficult that we have to have specialties, because you wouldn't be able to understand fully your heart system and your gastrointestinal system and your eyes and your brain. You have to be specialist. You have to specialize somewhere. But what is missing, that miscommunication with other specialists. Because if you have an issue, let's say for with your gut health, why do we see only gastroenterologists? That's it. This is where it's ending, right? In the Western medicine, I think that everything in the body is related. So that approach, when we're seeing the specialist, it's necessary when we have specific concern. But also we have to look wider. We have to understand, why does body react this way? What's causing that? And sometimes, not even sometimes, pretty often, the cause is not in that organ. You can treat that organ, you can make it feel better, you can modify that, but the outcome stays the same because you didn't get to the root.
So how do you understand all the elements of the body to really help someone and get down to the root?
There's a different tools how you can do that. Because again, as I said, if you go to acupuncturist, he's gonna tell you like, okay, acupuncture is the best way to heal that any kind of symptom. If you go to energy healer, which is also pretty common right now with mental health issues, with relationship, just energy healing, right? He's gonna tell you that everything starts with energy. We have to fix the
But their philosophy helps them understand all of that, right?
But the thing is, if you know only one philosophy, why do you think that that's the best one?
Okay.
You know, if you know only one thing, if I, for example, if I never tried chocolate, how can I know that I don't like it? How can I know that the cupcake is the best dessert ever?
Yeah.
How, if you never tried it, if you never experienced that? So that's why I think that if you want to have objective opinion, you have to find practitioner, therapist who knows about different tools. And I mean knows into depth, not like, oh yeah, I know that it exists.
Yeah.
So
what different tools do you use to help a client?
The first thing that I love to use is electrodermal screening. I think that we talked about that, but definitely I can share a little bit more. What we're trying to do, we measuring photons flow in the body, which means we measuring what's going on in the physics of the body. Because when we go and do blood work, as you probably know already, I talk about it a lot. If you do blood work, you trying to find what's going on in the chemical level. Like what's going on in the chemistry of my body. If you do ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, you looking for structure, function, you trying to understand what's going on that level. But what happens before? Where is the foundation? And the foundation is the quantum physics. Because there's no chemical process before the physics, before that.
Okay.
It's impossible. Everything happens in the layers, and chemical issues, chemical imbalances are already fourth stage of the disease or disorder or symptom. So the first three are basically physics. And we have to understand that our body produces new cells all the time, And it means if I'm feeling the same way, even with the medicine that I'm using, let's say antidepressants, very common thing nowadays, right? So you might feel better. And a lot of people think that, oh, it's because of low serotonin levels, it's because of brain hormones. But I would love to see the count of people who got tested for their brain hormones levels before they were prescribed.
1%. And maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. We have the reason for everything. And I love to go to that physics level because I found it the most valuable. Also, it helped me the most. This is how all of us came to any kind of healing journey, like you want to offer what helped you. It helped me with my chronic stuff in 2 weeks. So I'm like, damn, this is what I want to do for people. And you have to have knowledge from different fields to be able to understand what's going on there. One of the huge thing is quantum physics there. And that's a super difficult subject. Some people right now use that, oh, it's quantum physics, talking about like manifesting and everything, and that gets so I know woo-woo, but actually that's a very difficult subject when you have to actually learn that and understand what's going on there. So I use that combination of the methods that I know. You definitely can count it as non-traditional. I would say it's complementary. Because if you want to understand, and also when client comes to you, we screening every system in your body. We want to know what's going on that system, the mental, emotional level, physical level, to be able to understand. And how we know that? We have different frequencies. Everyone knows that nowadays, that, oh, emotions have specific frequencies, mental patterns have specific frequencies. And depending on that, we are able to tell like, oh, it's more caused by the mental patterns maybe you have, or it's more caused by the virus, let's say, that you've been exposed when you were a kid. So I use that complementary method to be able to help people truly. And I found it super valuable because I have people who come with chronic symptom that they feel for decades, and they feel better after one session and a week and a half or 2 weeks. And this is my achievement. This is what I want to do. I don't care what help you. I just want to help you. If you find that antidepressants is the best way to cope with your depression, go for it. I'm gonna cheer you up, because if you think that this is what your body needs, go for it. But there's one question that I tend to ask people when they come to see me. I ask, what does your body say no to? They usually don't even understand the question, maybe because of my accent, you know?
No, I love that question. Yeah.
But a lot of people are not aware. And you can hear different answers. Some of them might say, oh, my partner, my body say no to my partner, to my marriage, or something. Some people can say like, oh, my body say no to any kind of Western medicine drugs, like pharmaceuticals. For some people, that can be, my body actually says no to my career. Like, I feel so bad when I'm at work, you know? And
what a great question.
It's very nice to hear different responses.
Yeah.
And what I can do about it, of course, I can kind of give some insights for people, but what I want to do with that question, I want to kind of turn on that mechanism to think that, why do I answer this way? What does it mean for me, and should I do something about it?
Yeah, and as I'm hearing just the like your path through your own journey and through helping clients, what I'm noticing is that you do integrate a lot of different philosophies. And as you talked about, yes, the Western, the Eastern, but also even your own personal work. And that's something that I also want to highlight for my work as well too, is that yes, I'm talking about EMDR, and that's kind of the philosophy that I lead with. But nonetheless, I have a lot of different philosophies in my repertoire where I am pulling from these different modalities to help you understand yourself better and to really bring to light these issues that you're not seeing for yourself. And I think that's the power in practitioners, is when they can really pull from different avenues and meet clients where they're at. Like you said, like if antidepressants is working for you, great. Let's now explore different options to see if this worsens your symptoms or if this actually benefits your symptoms. And then we can talk about how the medicine is either interacting with that or also assisting. And so to have such a holistic and like meet the client where they're at mentality, it really does set them up for success, like
long-term success. Exactly. And again, as we talk, you are authority at that specific time when you're meeting the client. Doesn't matter where you work, at the hospital, at the clinic, at the wellness center, or creative medicine center, or you coaching the clients. At this point, when they are with you, you are authority.
Yeah.
So what is your job? To act in their best interest. So it doesn't matter what kind of philosophy you're gonna pull out at that specific moment. This is your best interest. If you feel that, okay, for this client, he might understand everything if I'm gonna say this way. He might feel better if I'm gonna show him this tool, maybe EMDR, maybe, okay, maybe this one is not working. Maybe we can try this or that. Your job is to act in your best interest. And this is what we have to expect when we see the practitioner.
Doesn't it just dawn on you like how powerful that is to just be in the lives of other people, and like you said, have authority, but also be the person that creates that change for them.
Crazy.
Like, it sometimes I have to like take a step back and be like, oh my God, like I help people change their lives. I help people better their relationships, and like in such a huge powerful way. And it is really beautiful to have. I feel honored that clients choose us, right? To really walk with them and help them through their path. And yeah, sometimes I'm so grateful for that.
Absolutely. It's something that we have to be grateful for, that we are able to guide them. I always, and when people say right now, like, oh, you treated that, you cured that, what I always try to say to them, I don't want to play for my ego. This is your body does the work. I can give you what I know.
Yeah.
And I'm here to give you that. This is why I'm here. And I'm grateful for that.
It's a dance.
Yeah. It's like, and you always healing me when I'm meeting new people, you know, like, okay, I see that, okay, I might learn this more. I can see myself. There's a lot of different ways how you can benefit from that session with the client, how you heal yourself, because as you said, it's a dance all the time. Body does the work. I can give you the tools because I'm honored to understand how it works. I'm honored to be able to learn that, be able to transform that knowledge for you when you don't have to understand the science behind it.
Yeah. And I would say to explore these non-traditional methods when you have a really stubborn problem where you've tried different things, maybe the traditional things aren't working and you're just in this cycle of pain where it keeps happening over and over and over again, and you do come to that place of like hopelessness and despair. And so that's where I would encourage people is like, and I'll speak to the relationship side of things. Like if you have trauma, this is where non-traditional work is going to be really important, because trauma work looks different than managing your anxiety about a job that you don't like, or managing your depression because you just lost your significant other, right? Really understanding like the childhood trauma, that's a whole different ball game. And you need a whole set of skills, because as we've talked about, like when you're a child, you have no control and you develop specific survival mechanisms just to get by. And that ends up showing up as an adult. And so this is where I would really encourage you, if you've had childhood trauma, you're experiencing the same cycle of relationships or pain, and if you've tried different things and they have not worked.
Absolutely. And again, everything has its own place. For a different person, if it worked for your friend, family member, it doesn't necessarily have to work with you. And as you said, I meet my clients at the point, because people find me when they tried everything.
Yeah.
You know, when I ask them, okay, so what kind of treatment have you tried? The list goes on, because you can name it, they tried it.
Yeah.
No one finds me at the point where like, oh, I just decided to take this approach, because we are conditioned to take different approach first. You feel sick, go see the doctor, take this medicine, you're gonna feel better in a week.
Yeah.
Cool. If you're not, you're gonna use this medicine. That's it. So everyone who finds me is already on the journey.
Yeah.
So I kind of take that responsibility to be able to show them, okay, this journey not gonna end here. We can find a way how to make it beautiful journey. We can find a way how to make it journey without the symptom that you've been experiencing for 20 years.
And I think this is why this podcast is so important when we talk about these non-traditional methods and how it's helping our clients and how like powerful it is because people who are hearing this for the first time, who are already experiencing this and have done and have not taken the first step, this could be their potential first step. Like we're helping clients really cut through what I just think about myself of like, at the time when I was trying to find help, I didn't hear about any of this stuff. So I just went with whatever you hear about that's supposed to work, right? Not these options. And I think this is what we're giving people now is options. There's more than just one way of doing things.
And also find someone who has a result that you're seeking. And then it's gonna save you a decade just kind of trying to do the same thing that person did. It's gonna save you a decade, because behind every result, behind my practice, your practice, stands decades of experiences, different learnings and stuff. So if you're looking for approach to help you to not feel the same way in your physical body, mental body, emotional body, in your relationships, cut that decade.
Yeah.
Like find someone who has the results that you want to have. Mm-hmm. And then ask for help. People are ready to help you. The thing is, it's hard to do the job alone.
Yeah.
Because we have so many defense mechanisms, so many blocks in all the bodies that keeping us at the same point. So my end note would be, save yourself a decade.
Yeah.
Save so much time, because right now when I'm thinking, damn, it took me so long to understand different ways, different modalities, different philosophies, different tools, how to actually create health. And I always telling to the clients when they're like, oh, are you gonna cure me? Mm-hmm. My answer is always, what I'm trying to kind of embody it in myself is, I don't want to cure. I want to create health for you.
Yeah.
And this is what my goal is. Create health for you. And any kind of health, whatever the health means for you. I'm here to help you to create that.
Yeah, and just to kind of end with this, when you're looking for help, you're really wanting to seek out a method from a practitioner who has the same values as you.
Yeah.
It's not so much the method, but what are the values that they're operating from and how are they using this method? Because a lot of practitioners can be using EMDR, but they might not have the same values or philosophy that I have when it comes to relationships and trauma. And so that EMDR session is going to look different.
Absolutely.
So your facilitator and support through that is going to be really important.
Yeah.
But yeah, great episode. We really got to share two things that we're really passionate. This episode was way too short for everything that we wanted to explain about our modalities, but I hope that you guys got a glimpse of what it is that we do and how like where these philosophies come from. So see you guys next time. Bye.